Most sales reps are training objections in the total wrong way, and in today's video, this is a group training, an advanced group training that I did with a whole bunch of people on how to actually train objections. It's part of an 8-week course that I did, and we go really nitty-gritty into a whole bunch of like deep objection handling concepts, and we also have a really high-level rep that comes in and takes you through his follow-up process and how he maximizes leads, okay? So this is a long one. Make sure you stay through all the way to the end, like and subscribe, and enjoy the content.
All right, sweet. So essentially, this is the document I put together that I use for every single account. I gave it to our guys at Sniper and at 7th, and when we kind of rolled this out and implemented it, went through some training, we increased all our show rate across the company by at least 10-15%, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. So we went from like that average of 60 up to about 70-75% on average. And I think at any given time, I always had the highest show rate, right? Just because I implemented this and was very, very adamant about making sure that I was keeping my calendar tight, right? For any of you guys who are commission-only based sales, right, your calendar is your gold mine. So if you don't take care of that, then that's on you, right? And most companies who are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on leads to get on your calendar and you decide not to play with them, that's a good reason for them to say goodbye. So this is something I want to make sure you guys have an understanding of how to make sure that the people that are getting paid to put on your calendar, you can get them to show up with you. So the whole philosophy in my head here about like reaching out to somebody, especially if you guys have inbound leads. How many of you guys have inbound? Just show it, like whatever, show of hands. Just say me, whatever. I don't care if you just say it, whatever. Cool. So most of you guys probably, I'm assuming, yeah, inbound. How many of you guys do outbound only? You only do outbound. No, you've never, no one gets anything put on your calendars. You have to go hunt and do your own thing. Anybody? You do both. All right, cool. Both. All right, sweet. So as you should, right? No baby birds, which is kind of the mantra. So essentially part of why this looks the way it does is we use Close as our CRM. So you'll see some of like the brackets and all this kind of stuff. Don't worry about all that. But as you can see, like Jeremy's in here, right? So I'm going to take that out with team, right? So whatever company, right? With company name. Right. So essentially, this is what it is. Like, let's assume you get an inbound lead. Okay. You're going to see it pop up on your calendar, however it looks. What I like to do is immediately send out this first text. Okay. You can use it as a triage, use as a strategy call. Depends on how your system works. If you're the one doing all your own triage work, then great, even better, right? Then you don't have to say somebody else sent a resource. But essentially, just send out a text message that's human, right? Now, part of what we did as a system at Sniper and every other account is we have deliberate automated messages that go out that look robotic and they're intentional for that, like calendar reminders. And then we have these, which look more human, okay? So all of these messages have been designed after lots of trial and error as far as like, what are some specific words we want to use versus what ones we want to remove that get a higher response rate, right? So using hey instead of hello is a very simple and very subtle word that's it's more conversational than hello, in my opinion. Okay, it's opinion based. You take all this and say I'm an idiot. Doesn't matter. I don't really care. I know it works. So I would always just go, hey, only give them your first name. It's not first and last name. Nobody speaks like that. Every text message I sent out, send it like you're sending it to a friend. Right? That's how I always thought about it. Get familiar with them immediately and then pay attention to how they respond. So it'd be like, hey, blank, it's just blank from whatever company you're with, right? See you're scheduled. And then if you notice, I put in vague time of day. I have never in my own personal text message said, I'll see you at 12 o'clock EST tomorrow. I just say time of day. And if you have the luxury of knowing their time zone, don't put it in. Just put their time zone. Doesn't matter what your time zone is. So if you know you're meeting at 12 o'clock tomorrow, just put see you at noon. All right, see you tomorrow morning, see you tomorrow afternoon. See you tomorrow night. Doesn't matter, right? Keep it vague because it's simple. It's just straightforward. It's something that's like, it's quick, reactionary, right? Reference what it is that they're actually on your calendar about. Potentially getting some help with whatever it is, right? Increase your sales, whatever it is that you guys sell, right? We can figure all that out. We can go through and ask questions about that, okay? So I would send that out. That's the very first thing I would send out right away, okay? Part 2, I would send out immediately after that, probably 2 to 3 minutes. Always 2 to 3 minutes, which it looks like someone tweaked my my agreements here, or tweak my stuff, which I'm not happy about. Boom. Hold on a second. This is it's the right but wrong document at the same time. I know it doesn't make any sense. Either way, so let's assume that this is here. I'm actually going to just update this. So this would be a good question if you let's say you do sell sales training, right? Whatever you sell, I'm curious, what do you have in place now? Essentially, do you have in place now to fix X problem? Right? Send this 2 to 3 minutes after the first text. Does anybody know why? Just throw a hand up. I don't know. Just come off mute. I could care less about it. Just whoever.
I would to get them engaged.
Yeah. Do you know why I would say 2 to 3 minutes?
It's like you are
So it doesn't
you
look
know?
like a robot. It doesn't look like it was automated. It was a person actually thinking over what to say and sending it through.
Yeah, 100%. Right. So what I found is 2 to 3 minutes is a really good time frame for being able to text another message, right? To type something out and send it with send delays and all this other stuff that goes on with text messages, right? 2 to 3 minutes I found was the sweet spot. Anything more, anything less, I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. We tested it so many times. It's just for some reason, 2 to 3 minutes was a sweet spot. More or less would just get less of a response overall. Okay. So that's what I would send. Okay. So now you're going to be paying attention to response. Okay. Keep an eye on it. So if you use a CRM like Close, you have an advantage of seeing open rates now, right? I don't know what CRMs everybody's using. If you're even using them, maybe you're not. Okay. So it might be more manual on your side, right? Make it feel like it wasn't overthought. Exactly. Right. It's a very straightforward question. Hey, I'm curious, what is it you booked on the calendar essentially for? Hey, I saw you booked on a calendar about getting some help. Oh, curious, what are you doing about fixing it? Just really straightforward. If you can get them engaged on a text and in a message, you're already building trust immediately there before you even get on a call. Now the familiarity is already getting built. That's the whole point of these pre-call and pre-text and emails. Okay. We want to get you guys familiar with the people that you're going to be speaking with before you even get on the call. All right. So let's go back to it. So part 3 of call, I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to give you guys like a cleaned up version. Again, if you hit me up, it's not a big deal if you don't. So pre-call part 3. So if they respond, we send the rest. This, if they respond. If they don't, we go to another thing. So if they respond, you just start the conversation off. I'm not going to tell you how to have a conversation. Once they respond, that's up to you. Be a human. That's the best advice I could get. Don't be a weirdo. Right? Talk to them like a human, get them engaged, and just get them into the call. If you have resources, this is where I would send those resources. Okay. So pre-call part 3, if they respond, send the rest of it. Perfect. Hey, I just sent you some pre-appointment resources to go through before a meeting. Right? Pre-call reminder. This is fucked up. Pre-strat homework, right? So this is all set. Just give me a second, guys. I'm going to stop sharing because this is not the one I want to show you guys. I actually updated and cleaned this up. I don't know why this is all freaking broken. Talk amongst yourselves. Network. It's good. Give me a second.
Alrighty. All right. Well, while Shane kind of cleans that up, let's go through and let's go through and war game some of your own pre-call processes. Okay, that you guys are doing at the moment. Right. What I can share mine. Okay. Mine right now for software is pretty straightforward. So I always set it up so that I get a notification as soon as the person books, right? And then from there, I reach out to them immediately, right? And so it's like, hey, just so you booked on my calendar. Is there any? I always say something along the lines of just to kind of spark conversation. I have a few things I want to go over, but is there anything that you want to cover, and that I need to prepare to have a more productive conversation, right? If they have a website, for example, in B2B, I'll always go over and say like, hey, I went over your website, you know, like looks pretty cool. Is there anything that I need to prepare, right? And it's all just designed to sort of be nice and quick. I also do it basically as soon as they book, like as soon as I get it, which is going to be, you know, a couple minutes with Zapier and shit like that. Anything with Zapier is going to be like a 1 to 5 minute delay, right? It's probably not APIing straight to your text, right? That would be weird. And you know, then it'll be super, super quick. But I do that. Then from there, I just try and engage in conversation the entire time. So I try and keep lines of conversation open and then if I have earlier spots, I'll try and book them earlier. Right? Like that's basically all I do. They get some emails and like automatic text reminders and shit like that. But that's just all to make sure that they don't forget. That's really what that is. And then from there, like my back and forth is designed to get them to want to show up. But Dominic, like what's your process? Not Anthony. Anthony, you can go.
Cheers, mate.
It's my fault. Sorry.
Go for it. It's all good.
I raised my hand because I had a question of how you feel about a call versus a text when doing this, if possible.
If you can call people, call people. That's my theory. I mean, if you can do it, it's just a lot of the time if you're sort of stacking on you know what I mean, it can be a little bit difficult to just physically call them. But yeah, I think the outcome could be the same, just depending on the execution of it. Yeah. I'm pretty agnostic, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say it's probably offer specific, right? It depends on what you're selling.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't call somebody who knows they have a call with you in 30 minutes. What the hell are you calling for type situation, right? Like just shoot him a text saying, hey, I'll chat with you in a couple hours. Sweet. Right. Yeah. If it's one where you got a call to make sure you're confirming the booking that's in 2 days, like definitely if you can give them a call, that'll warm them up a lot more. Right. So I think it's contextual about what you sell. What do you sell, Dominic?
AI porn model agencies.
AI porn model. Yeah, I don't know how. Are you getting a lot of people who actually want to answer the phone and talk?
You'd be surprised, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Hell yeah. Call them all. I'd just be curious personally what the hell I want to do. I think that's just an interesting thing to chat about. So yeah, I don't know. What are you having success with? What are you not having success with as far as that goes right now?
I just started on the offer. So pickup rate on confirmation calls, they're usually booked out a day or two ahead, is probably like 35, 37%. And usually it's just a real quick chat that I'm having, like, hey, we sent over some pre-call resources, anything that you want to make sure that I'm prepared for. You know, does this time still work? I'll try to move them up if I can.
Yep.
If there's an opening, something like that. But I've only been on the offer 2 weeks. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would say this is something that Matt actually spoke to me about when I first came in Snipers. Like the time's going to take time, but also give it a month, right? Like run with what you're doing, the same thing for at least a month. Don't go changing a million things because you won't know what's working and what isn't. Like go with your current process for a month. If it's not working, make one tweak at a time. This document took me 2 years, right? So this wasn't like overnight where it was like, all right, I just know what I'm doing. Right? It took me 2 years to really make sure it was adaptable to any industry. Okay, so that's the one thing I would say is like give yourself some grace as far as how long you need to like take to figure these things out, and don't change too many things at once. But that'd be my go on that.
But I think also the process of creating a document is quite handy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the fact that you're actually going through doing something and like being an active participant. I think a lot of people just want kind of everything given to them, which I understand and is fine. But that act of problem solving, going through, tweaking, like, hey, like, you know, I sent out all these emails, and then it's like, you know, people don't look at the stats and they just go like, oh, that didn't work. It's like, yeah, but your open rate was amazing, but the rest of it shit. So like, don't change your subject.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was really good, you know. And then like, you know, they throw the baby out with the bathwater type thing. Let's go with Ron, and then we'll go Marcos, and then we'll get back into yours, back into the presentation, Shane.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I guess the overlining thing is just to keep it as humanized as possible, right? Like I find that I've had my book and show rates increase kind of the shittier I became, as terrible as it sounds. Like the more I was like Kurt, like if I would start out with like, hey, it's me, it's an actual human, not a robot, would be on my high level, would get sent out. And then like it would be a question right away. I have a martial arts school. How old's your child? And then if they wouldn't respond, it would automatically send like, just like, did you get my last text? And then I found like other things, like just the person's first name with a question mark is just kind of like WTF, like why are you blanking me type thing. And I found that creates the engagement like a lot higher. So I guess in anything, you're just trying to make this as human as possible, because if I feel like if I'm communicating with someone and then I'm letting them down for the show up, where it's like, well, it's just the setter and then this and this, I would assume that's kind of the overarching goal, is just to make this as human as possible. So they don't want to let you down, right?
It's just be a person. Like all of these things are created because I think obviously the web is an interesting place. Everyone thinks things need to be overcomplicated, but at the end of the day, we're talking to people, right? Just be a human being. Like if you're a weirdo, you're gonna be a weirdo. Just freaking own it. You know what I mean? Like don't try to pretend you're someone else, because the strangest thing that I found is if you pretend you're somebody else on a text, on an email, it's going to come across that way. And then when you get on a real call with them, they're going to be like, who was sending the other stuff, right? It immediately sends this like weird, like back and forth thing. So it's like, just be the same person on a text and email that you are on the call. It'll translate really well.
Very cool.
Hey, 1 second. Can YouTube hear me? People saying no, but I'm not talking. So they're like, I can't hear him. Also,
wait, YouTube can't hear you?
Yeah, pretty sure they can though. But that'd be weird.
Maybe
Anyway.
they can't hear Shane.
Yeah,
No,
maybe you can hear me. I don't know.
Sorry. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
No, they're missing out.
I'm just streaming it, so like into the members group. But it's like they're supposed to be on link anyway. All right, cool. Let's go, Marcos.
Hey guys, yeah, just maybe getting a quick feedback. I just put in the email inside the text what I'm sending to people. So typically I'm saying like, hey, it's Mark from Company X. I saw you apply to book a call with us. I wanted to reach out personally. We're receiving a high volume of applications right now. We cannot speak with everyone. We're prioritizing those who are serious about this opportunity to keep things organized and be respectful for everyone's time. Just hit reply to confirm you'll be joining. And it typically works. But any feedback maybe on this?
What's typically mean?
87% show up rate.
Why you don't need to change it? You have 87. Why the hell would you change 87%? I wouldn't do a damn thing. I'd leave that thing alone until it breaks.
It feels like when someone goes like, "What do you think of my dick? It's huge."
Exactly.
But do you think I should make it smaller? I'm not. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm quite shy.
Maybe if I had less money and a smaller dick, women would like me more.
How would I make this worse? Can you help me with that?
Yeah.
Sure can.
It's fine as long as you have a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like you have a good offer, a lot of opportunity. You know, it's all contextual. If you're on a dog shit offer and there's not many leads, you send that out, ain't nobody turning up.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like that's what the offer is like 80% of this. Like sort of like the hidden truth. If it's a dog shit business, it doesn't matter. It's like, if you're having to fucking fight and have 17 people confirm people, maybe they're just not that into you, bro. You know what I mean? But so I think the underpinning is although the issue is that when you are on like a uniquely well positioned offer, right, the things that you can do that work are not super like replicatable. You know what I mean? And you end up creating some bad habits. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're doing that here. I'm just like, it's something to always bear in mind that like if you're on something that's incredibly good, just realize that it's not that salesperson X is an absolute fucking rock star. It's just that it's just right place, right time sometimes.
Some context to this too, Marcos. Like I don't know what offer you're on, and I think Matt can attest to this. I had to create this document out of some dog shit offers that we had. Unfortunately, we had a lot of offers that were happy to be with us. It didn't mean we were happy to be with them. Right?
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
I just had to get him to show up to the goddamn call so we could have him hate us in real time. So it was fun.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Anthony, I think you had your hand up, man, right?
I did, and then I didn't realize, I guess, when I must have came off mute, it kind of put my hand down and it got leapfrogged. But just a bit more from like a operations perspective, I guess. I've recently come into a position where I'm kind of like operating a sales team and like CRO for an offer. And I'm just thinking like with this side of things, I love it. It's great. It's kind of along the lines of like what I've seen on other offers that I used to close for when I was just closing. But I guess the question is, in the position I'm in now, I'm asking myself, like, how much of this do you think could be either like automated, whether it's like, you know, closed text workflows, or like maybe delegated to setters, or I know some closers on some bigger offers might even have their own VAs, versus like certain parts where you're like, mate, like, don't be fucking lazy. You as a closer, like, have to do a bit of this shit too.
Do you suck? Do you suck at your job? Like, if you suck at your job, let somebody else do it who's better at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, even though, I mean, Matt, I think at one point we had SDRs, we had setters for everybody. Like, everyone had a setter. I didn't want a setter. I didn't want someone setting for me personally, because I want to control my conversation from the very beginning all the way through. Now, if you have a setter that you work really well with and they can speak your language, fucking rock and roll. Free your time up to do other things that you need to get done. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, like, unless I knew 100% from start to finish, they're not going to drop the ball on message. They're going to make sure my tasks are built, like all that. I wanted to control my process, right?
Yeah.
That's my go at it, man. Some of this is going to be automated, right? As we kind of develop more AI and all these systems start creating like flows and workflows and everything, especially with close, like close is great for that. Like, some of it is, but the only issue that I found with doing it that way is it makes you complacent from even looking at the message went out, right? So maybe it does go out, but does it know that when they respond within a certain amount of time, how do I respond to that appropriately, right? If they don't respond within like a couple hours, what type of message should I be sending out? Did I send out resources in the email where you can see if the email opens? Did they open it but not respond? Or did they open it and respond? How, like, there's too many variables, in my opinion, to allow automation to do all of it for you. So that's my take on it. Now, it could just be like more that old school mentality where it's like, hey, I'd rather control it and not give up all the control, but that's me.
It definitely makes sense. I think, like, just for building that overall sense of awareness on like where each person is, and like getting a feel from the closer side of things before getting onto the sales call, of knowing how they were responding, maybe what sort of work or where you need to do a bit more heavy lifting, makes sense.
Yeah, because how are you going to know what to tweak if everything's automated and you're not paying attention to it, right? Like, again, this is iteration after iteration after iteration, where everything I said, or like I'm changing one word or maybe 2 words at a time and testing it for a week and seeing how it works. If that increased, I'd leave that alone and tweak the next little piece. So it's just always iterating.
One thing I'll add is, oh, sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Just one thing that I'll say is, like, also don't just take, and this is throughout the whole course and any advice you ever get. Like, advice is contextual, and there's no sort of wrong. It's like, if I were one of the issues is that people will say, like, do this or don't do this, right? And it's like, and you see Shane is like, like there's a bit of gray area. And the answer is, like, if I ask you what's the fastest way to run around like a running track, right? Like, what's the fastest way to get around it? And you go, sprinting is the fastest way. And I say, what if you're a baby, right? And then it's like, well, then the fastest way is crawling. So if I say, well, crawling is the fastest way around a track, I am correct. As long as you're a baby. As a toddler, it's toddling. And they go sprinting if you're a sprinter. And it's like, what if you're in a wheelchair? What if you're fucking Sam Grenier, right? And you're one-legged fucking one-legged gay, right? You're just fucking, you're hopping, right? You're fucking hopping around like a gimp, right? So, like, the answer is, like, it's not definitive. And the answer is contextual to the person. So, like, if you can't walk, then running is probably not the fastest way around something. And so, just bear that in mind, that depending on the people, like, if I have a super, super experienced closer who's an absolute fucking savage, then, like, I'll just get everything out of his way. And, like, who cares, right? But, like, 90% of these dipshits are idiots. You know what I mean? And they couldn't close a fucking door. So, like, am I going to pay someone to do shit that they should be doing? Absolutely not. Right? Yeah. Fuck that. That's, like, make me money and then I'll do that. Yep. Until then, fucking no way. You suck.
100%. I was just going to say that, like, side note for texting, I mean, obviously depends, like, what platform you're on, but sending GIFs has been fucking great for revivals. Like, breaking the ice, getting the conversation back up and going. That's a nice one.
That's contextual, right? Like, I know Matt's
if you really want to get high engagement, send racist memes.
Yeah.
They won't buy, but you'll get replies. Right?
Yeah. Just never leak our group chat, man. That's all I
Just
can.
Kanye. Just Kanye songs. Nothing but Kanye songs. Right? That'll fucking get him fired up. Right?
No. Awesome. You guys have any more questions about that, or I'll dive back on the thing here. I'll dive back on the sheet. Now that I found the right one.
Boom.
All right, sweet. All right, so let me go back over here. So essentially, there's a whole video. I put a video in here. So for anybody who does reach out to me, I'm going to give you very clear guidelines on how to reach out to me. If they don't get matched, you will not get a reply. But put a video to kind of go through this whole thing again, like 5 minutes. But that way you guys can make a copy and everything. But I want to go back to just a second. And everything's labeled. So pre-strat 1 and 2, right? Used for triage as well. Same thing. We all hit it 2 to 3 minutes. So I actually say this. If you're sending resources, hey, I just emailed you your pre-appointment resources to go through before our meeting, right? Give yourself, like, space it down. Give yourself like some visual space on your text. It's labeled, and actually put in the headline. What's your email labeled? Did that come through on your end? This is usually the second text I would send it every time, right? So I'd send the everything in the first, send this, okay? Now, this is a twofold reason that I sent this, okay? First piece is obviously you're double texting, so you're sending 2 messages so it looks more human. The second reason, okay, is you're going to be able to notice if they opened it. It's also going to tell them, hey, this is what you need to look for, right? If I just said, hey, I sent you some resources, we all know what inboxes look like. I have no clue who this person is. I don't know if it's going to go to junk, but I know what headline to look for now. That's why I say always, I always send the headline, the email headline. Hey, this is what it's labeled. Did you get it? Okay. So it's a double fold. So you're going to be able to see, is there engagement, right? Now, let's go down to the email, and I'll show you exactly what the email was. Pre-strat homework. If this is booked from somebody else as a triager, right? So this is if they're a triager. If not, you just cut that piece out, right? You just add that headline, I name, right? Boom, boom, boom. Same exact thing. You add the relevant resources. Add the Zoom link if you're doing it on Zoom, okay? Make sure that if they're not responding, okay, give it a little bit of breathing room, right? Don't just immediately send the email, wait 10 minutes and be like, did you get it again? Like, give it a few hours. Like for me, I always waited usually 2 to 3 hours. I'd check back. I'd look if it was open. If it was open, then I'd shoot a text. If it wasn't, I'd text again, okay? Now, who was it that was asking? I think it was Dominic. You were asking about calling, right? This is where I would start adding calls in, okay? So let's say that I sent those first 2 texts and the email. Email never got opened, never got responded to a text. Waited a couple hours, sent another text. Either I would send their name with a question mark, right, which I think is actually a good one, or I'd say, hey, just making sure I have the right number. Is this so-and-so? Boom. If no response, I'd pick up the phone, right? So that would be my process for everything. And if they're not answering, I would shoot one last text and say, hey, looks like I might have the wrong number. I'm going to go ahead and just take our meeting off the calendar. Hopefully, if you do see this, just get back to me. I'll make sure we keep the appointment, right? It's about keeping your calendar clean. If they're not responsive, then what do you think is going to happen when you wait till the next day and now you have a 60-minute block to talk to someone who hasn't engaged with you? And then when you had to have them go through resources, they didn't go through it. Now you're wasting time on a call saying, hey, did you go through those? No, I didn't. I didn't have a chance to see those. Oh, okay. Now they have no context about what you do, right? Depending on your marketing. But now you're just wasting time. You're wasting your time and wasting theirs. And if your time is not as valuable as theirs, they're going to just start the call off thinking that, right? And I don't say this to say it's a fucking power move and it's like, oh, get off my calendar. It's more just about making sure people who are going to be adamant about showing up and following suit. They're coming to you for the help. That's why they booked a call, right? If they're not serious about it, then they won't respond. That's fine. Don't need to beat them up about it. We don't know them, right? Just, hey, we're just going to go ahead and take this off the calendar. I'll give you your hour back so you don't have to waste it with me. Right? Does that make sense? Probably does. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So that's basically my flow, guys, right? Pre-strat reminders a day of. So same thing. This is where I would start getting a little bit more specific, right? I wouldn't say good morning. It's again, this is me vernacular. So here's actually some more context. How many of you are familiar with like regional dialogue? All right, this is actually pretty important. So for me, I live in New England, right? I live over just about an hour north of Boston. I don't know if you can tell I sound like a dickhead and sound like an asshole sometimes, right? It's just how I talk. All right, it's probably why I get along with Matt. But in this area, yeah, exactly. You got a good friend in Lynn, so you definitely know. But if you understand, like, there's certain things that I'll say that it's how I speak, right? If you're from the Midwest, you're from Utah or something like that, you're gonna speak a little differently. It's gonna sound differently, right? So this is in context with like how I speak. So when I was creating this document, I would verbally say this out loud as I was typing it, right? Anytime I practice something, I would be the weirdo where my partner would be like, why are you talking to yourself in the bathroom? I'd be talking in the mirror, right? Trying to get the context out. They're like, how does this sound? What does it look like? Like, does my face look ridiculous or any more than normal, right? So those are things that I always took into context, and then I would write them out, and then I would say it how it was written. Then I would send it as a text, right? Never just send something blanket until you like listen to it. How do you want to hear it, right? I know it sounds crazy because it's over text, but 99% of people in the world today they don't even answer their phone anymore, right? They just would rather text. But text has become a language in itself, where it's like if you use certain emojis, certain like ellipses, all that kind of stuff, it all has like meaning. And if you're really good at just paying attention to those things, you can start to kind of gauge how to use those to your advantage. Okay, so added that in a little bit. So I just want to go back. So that's why you don't see good in front of morning here, right? Say morning, just circling back with you, you'd end up setting aside some time to go through those resources. I would send this regardless if I saw it opened or not. It did not matter, okay? And depending on what time the meeting was, I would try to make sure this was getting sent out at least 3 hours before the meeting, okay? Because if they didn't go through it, we are all human beings, man. I can't tell you how many times I've booked a call for some random thing in the middle of the day and gone back to work and totally spaced it, didn't look at my emails. So every day in the morning when I check my email, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do that. Let me jump in and do it now, right? So you send it out in the morning. I don't know, good rule of thumb, 8 to 9 in the morning, right? Whatever time zone they're in, right? Make sure they send it, just remind them if they haven't gotten to it, especially if you don't see an open, right? But just circling back, you end up setting aside time to go through those resources so we're prepared for our time, right? And always say at specific time in their time zone. So if it's at 12 p.m., only put 12 p.m. in their time zone. Don't put CST or EST. Just put it in the time zone they live in, right? There's a couple of reasons for that. But do you guys have any questions so far on that piece?
So I have a quick question on the local language.
Yep.
So for example, I'm Argentinian, right? So Spanish is my native language. So should I like mix a couple of Spanish words in there to
Just write it all in Spanish and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's what I
Don't speak any English. No,
well,
it's a good question.
What are you saying, boy?
So we had someone on our team who was arguably at one point one of our best closers, Talis, right? Portuguese was his first language. His text messages were somewhat broken, right? That worked to his advantage so well because they got on with him and they're like, oh, okay, this makes a lot more sense, right? I'm not saying, speak like you got to.
They may not understand.
Yeah, no scusi.
You are avoiding that third word.
Okay, no, scusi.
Yeah, I'm not saying like talk like you need to wear a helmet when you're talking, but like you can use some stuff and like leave it a little bit broken. Like, how do you usually text? How do you text your friends that are in the States that don't speak Spanish, right? Like contextual. That's what I say. Like contextual.
Good hack is like intentionally misspell something and then send it below them, so you get to send another message as a little bump.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking classic one.
I like that.
Yep. Yeah, all these little tweets.
Okay, cool. I'll take it in. Thanks.
And then like if you want to rebump a message and it's on iMessage, you go, or even these days you just go in there and do like the thumbs up for a message from like a week ago, right? Like bumps it back up to the queue.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And that, you know. But yeah. And then like if they don't reply as well, don't be afraid to send like a GIF, you know, or a meme. Be like, there's a really good one of like it's a dolphin And it's like, are you ignoring me on purpose? It's fucking great. Right? It's a great
one
one.
that
'cause
worked
it's so
really well
stupid.
for me was have you guys ever seen Narcos where he's just alone in the pool, just standing with his hands behind his head or sitting on the bench
Yeah.
swinging?
Yeah.
Like that one's always got me good. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
There's 2 or 3 more. I saw it with Giuliano from Underdog Selling. I don't know if you have that guy. He gave us like a couple. Like he does a lot of outbound, like cold calls, and he had a couple good one gifts.
Yeah, man. And it's a pattern interrupt. It's like, it's hitting the desk. It's, clapping. All the old school sales tactics when people are doing stuff that you don't want them to do. Right? Oh, mosquito. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, how we doing? Right? Like this old school stupid shit. But it works. It's just a redirect, right? Like, stop thinking that, think this. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Sveta, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. This process, as I understand, works for in case you drive leads and appointments through ads, right? Like they saw an ad, they clicked, they
Well, it just
chose
depends.
this. My question is, what if you set up the appointment by yourself, like it was cold call or you met somebody at the event? So I always found it's a little bit tricky to follow the process because we just spoke. You spoke to me and then sending a message, and I normally it's kind of weird to find the moment where to follow up, and I normally send them just one reminder that morning or like 3 hours before.
Yeah, that's easy. You just cut a lot of the first part out. Do you send resources after the call?
After the call, initial conversation.
Yeah,
I typically, I send an email and I tell them, I will drop you an email, and I explain very quickly. Yeah.
So that you would literally just verbatim say part 2 of that strat call. Hey, I'm gonna send you an email. This is gonna be the headline. I just sent it.
No,
Pull your email
okay,
up.
I've never tried that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're getting them to do it in real time, so it's not deferred, right? Hey,
Okay.
while I have you on the phone, let's make sure it doesn't go to your junk mail. Like you're just saying I'm doing something for you. So hey, I'm gonna shoot you over. Look for the headline. This is the headline. Did you get that? Awesome. Okay, it takes probably about 30 minutes, if that. Right? When do you think you can go through that? Just so I know we'll be ready for our call. I'll do it tonight. Perfect. Now they've made a commitment to a time. They're gonna do a thing. Okay. You can follow up after that now and say, hey, did you end up taking that time? So literally you just skip over the first text message, go right to the second. Right?
And you follow up like in few hours or next day?
No, if you follow, this is my opinion, Matt, you tell me if I'm off on your side, man, but if you are on a call with them, that is the highest intent you're going to have. You're physically talking with them, right?
Yeah.
If you say, I'm going to send you a thing and we'll meet tomorrow, and you call them at the end of the day, you're going to sound like a thirsty girl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Don't sound thirsty, right? Just be like, it's fine. I told you a thing that I'll give you. You said you would do the thing. And then in the morning or late at night, depending on if it's like maybe 12 hours or whatever, if they said, hey, I'll do it right after this call, perfect. All right. Then just send them a message before you end your day. Hey, just getting ready to take off for the day. Did you get a chance to go through that, or are you doing that in the morning now? Right? Like,
yeah. And the key is like, there might be, let's say there's 10 things that you can do, right? And then if you do 9 and it doesn't drop the show rate, then do 9. And then if you try 8 and then it doesn't drop, do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Like the thing is, you want to have a well thought out and structured process that is easily followed, replicatable, and trackable, and then has been modified, and you can do small changes to see if you can get better outcomes, right? And so that's sort of the key here is like what Shane's got is a really well thought out, like it says, generic set of text and email templates that are going to work, are going to be a good baseline for most people to try. And then you can add and subtract depending on what you're doing and change wording, right? Again, like we talk about with the objection handling stuff, we don't want to get caught up in like in immediate execution. We want to understand concepts and strategies. Then from there, we can learn and build on those things over time. And that's what creates really, really effective professionals. And monsters are what they do, is just that understanding of concept, strategy, and then understanding execution over the long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
okay,
because
cool.
like, you know, if someone comes to me and says I have an 87% show rate, I go, fuck, mate. Like, even if I think that what you're doing is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, I would never suggest you change it.
Yep.
Because like that
Mhm,
would just
mhm.
be insanity, you know. But if it, you know, if you go to a different offer and you have a 4% with the same process, I'd be like, this is a good offer, right? Right?
Mhm,
Just
mhm.
take the win, you know.
Thanks.
All right, Shane.
Yeah, but like, so I think that's a perfect add-on to Maz. Like this document, like you said, this is generic, right? So what I used to use it as a coaching tool. So any of the people that I helped that were in sales, like when I was doing sales coaching full time, which, you know, I do it for a couple people here and there now, like people who really actually need it. We would use this as a blanket document, okay? And then we'd craft it to their offer. Now it would probably take a month. I would say usually about a month, sometimes more, right? We would keep tweaking and making revisions, but I've adapted it to B2B in the medical space. I've adapted it to B2C, right? I've adapted it to business to government, right? So we've taken this generic template and we've made the adjustments so that it's customized to the person in their role, in their in whatever it is they sell, right? B2B, again, this is very straightforward. B2B, there's some very subtle differences, right? Part of what Matt, myself, and another guy you guys will be getting to see, Mr. Chocolate Man himself, Mr. Road, right? Me and Road actually worked on the B2B department.
Beautiful dark Adonis.
Yeah. So me and
Dark
Road
horse.
actually built out the B2B department, and we had to change up some things because in B2B, obviously it's different than B2C, right? So every offer that we talk about, like this is customizable, but this is a really good starting point for any offer. It's just like take it, then let's get contextual with it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys are connected with Shane on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but like if you guys are looking for kind of one-on-one support, I do fully endorse Shane. He's a fucking killer. Like don't come to me asking for it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
like
that
Shane
as well.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to do it either, but
no, if you hit me up, like I said, if you hit me up just randomly and you don't tell me where the hell you're from, I don't care if I've been talking to you all day. You don't tell me where you're from, you don't tell me what you want help with, then I will not respond. I just don't. Like one of my biggest pet peeves is people sending out friend requests to me and I don't know who the hell you are. I don't care if we have 97 connections. Why are you hitting me up? And I'll say it to be a jerk, but like, why do you want to?
I just want to edit your videos, man. I just want to. I just
like,
think that your content can really pop with some good short form editing, buddy.
Or
Like
just
I get 4,000 of those a day.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, guy, I don't have time for that. Like, send me context if you're gonna reach out. This is for anybody, anyone streaming.
But this isn't like fuck. I don't get anything out of it. But generally speaking, like Shane's very very good at what he does. Like Shane was ran a ton of accounts for me at Sales Sniper, and like it was fully hands off for me, so he knows what he's doing.
And if you want, nobody gets this document. If you guys hit me up personally on the side, like I'm happy to share this document with you. We can hop on a call, whatever. Just I'll help you kind of craft your offer. I don't care. Not a big deal. But you got to send me privately. I'm not going to send this out to everybody. What I found is every time I did that, 2 people would open it, 1 person would use it, 900 people had it. I'm like, why do you even care to have it if you're not going to use it? So it'll be on an individual basis. I'm happy to share it with you guys though.
All right, cool. We only got a few minutes here left. Sweet. So I think like maybe let's just finish off with a couple Q&A. Anyone who wants the document, where can they reach out to you?
Facebook. Just send me an.
I'll probably just blast out your phone number at the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's easier too.
Right.
Just hit me on my personal line. Like you'll be sure to get an answer.
Yeah, I'll blast out your phone number, probably your address too.
Yeah. Dialer is gonna get blown up.
Exactly. But Anthony, you got a question?
Yeah, I do, mate. One thing that has kind of been shifting for me as I've sort of gone from closer to more of like sales lead is becoming way more fucking data obsessed. And I just watched like your How I Sold 10 Mil Plus video today as well, which was fucking amazing. So thank you for that. But I'm curious, like when it comes to, you even mentioned it many times, just talking about this pre-call process, like tracking certain data metrics and then like the same sort of analogy you gave with the grouping, take the average and then make a decision off the back of that and change one thing at a time. Obviously I've got reps submitting EODs and we do have like some, sales stats trackers, and then we've got all the reporting that comes off the back of close. But I guess I'm curious, like when it comes to emails and texts and pre-call processes specifically, like, do you have any ways you'd advise to track this stuff, or any key metrics? And also, like, I guess more from an execution perspective, how could I stay on top of making sure that my reps are actually fucking doing this?
There's a couple questions. Which one you want to answer first?
Probably the second one, because I'm just like, is it really a matter of like kind of going into each lead and seeing, have the text been sent? Like, surely there must be a bit of a, I don't know.
How are you tracking things right now? Like, what are you currently using? Are you using like Close? Are you using Airtable? Like, how are you tracking everything?
So from the CRM side, we use Close, and then like off CRM, I've built out trackers where basically like Google form is used for two things. We have like an EOD form, and then we have a transaction form every time a closer closes a deal. And then they go into a spreadsheet, which like takes all that data. And then there's a bunch of formulas, which give me like total calls, live to close, offer to close, cash collected, etc.
Okay. So I have another doc I'll share with you guys as well, right? This is something I used for a personal tracker. Okay, let me share this with you.
One that I'll say to, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I have that one too.
So this is something I built out over probably 2 years as well. And when you're talking about tracking, here's some of the stuff I would track, right? These are some of the stuff that not everybody was tracking. We talk about call outcomes. I started tracking literally everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything. And then
So
I would
what
wait 30 days and I'd tweet. Wait 30 days.
So
and
it's the difficulty is, so I think that like I did the same thing. I tracked the same shit as a rep, but the business can't track all that.
Mhm.
Madness, right? And so you know, you like a professional rep will crush it and do that, right? You know what I mean? And they'll just like winners will win. The issue is you have to, okay, so how do they know there's a black hole?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the deductive reasoning of the position that you're in. It's like, I know there's a black hole because there is nothing where there is usually something. Okay? So I can just say there's nothing there, or I can go, there's an enormous something that I just cannot see. Right? So when you have to have enough metrics to see what's happening and just enough to see what maybe isn't happening, and then you can investigate the black holes, right? I'll probably bring Roden to talk more about that because he's an expert on black holes. Heyo, right? Right? He would have loved that joke, right? You guys are sitting there thinking that's not funny. That's funny as fuck. Right? So
just
right? I can say whatever I want. It's one of the things that I've you guys joined me, I didn't join you. Right? Fucking whatever, right? So you have to have enough to see what's happening. And the easiest way is to have your baseline set of data that you can segment per person and per revenue line or lead source, right? Like, let me ask you a question. What attribution model do you use for your revenue attribution?
So like in regards to lead source, primarily it's
in regards to like what attribution model? It's a really specific question. There's first touch, last touch, there's fractional touch, or there's scientific 30. You ever heard of those?
No. I thought you were referring to lead attribution.
I'm referring to sales attribution to lead source.
This is new for me, man. This is great.
All right. You're a CRO. I want you to Google scientific 30.
Right? Okay.
I would recommend using scientific 30. Right? Scientific. Okay. So when you're talking about revenue attribution, right? Yeah. You can do first touch revenue attribution. That's what we did at 7th level. It was incorrect. I didn't run it. Right? It's not how I would have run it. It's how it was ran. Okay. Which led to an over-engineering of sales process due to a incorrect thinking of an oddly long sales cycle for a B2C product. Right? Like, I only figured that out later on. I saw when I left. So I was like, oh shit, that would have saved me some money. Anyway, then you got last touch, right? Last touch. So first touch is I attribute the money to the first touch that got them in the ecosystem, right? Last touch is I attribute the money to the last touch in the ecosystem. You can do a fractional one where every single touch gets a percentage of the revenue, and you can use scientific 30. Scientific 30, every single touch point gets a 30-day attribution cycle. And so like it's the most accurate because you'll optimize for the ads that are making you the most money without thinking too short or too long term. Right? So when you're using Hyros or ClickMagic or whatever attribution software, and if you don't have it, I highly recommend you do have attribution software, right? Then you want to have like a scientific 30 method because it's your best model of being able to like say that out. And so again, it just comes down to like it's a problem solving process, right? So but yeah, I think like if you get reps and you get your individual reps to track individually, like with the stuff that Shane just said, like you'll be able to find, like they'll be able to problem solve and optimize themselves.
Yeah,
but that's not your job.
I really like what you said about like understanding where there could be a black hole or a void and then investigating. Like right now, as I've got it set up, I've got enough to track each individual rep's show rate. So if I see like one guy has a really low show rate compared to the rest of the team, I could be like, all right, let me go investigate. And then maybe the stuff will come to light.
Exactly. Segmenting is probably the easiest way to figure out what is or isn't happening. And then from there, you want to have a look at, this has gone way in the deep. You want to have a look at least one, probably 3 different economic or localized factors that could be causing changes that would stop you from making changes. Like, for example, if everybody no shows on the 4th of July, I wouldn't be massively surprised. Okay. 2 questions, then we're going to bounce out because I want to respect my time, right? Couldn't give 2 shits about Shane's, but
thanks for that, mate.
All right, Rez.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I have a question. So I send a video text and a text when a customer inquires. So we typically
the answer is, does it work?
No, it doesn't. That's why I'm asking.
Don't do it. Yeah, sweet. Don't do it. Yeah. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the text I sent, I sell massage chairs. It could be a Facebook inquiry. Okay. So hi, prospect name. You were inquired about massage chairs. Is there anything in particular we can help you with? Question mark. This is my personal
I would like
number
a
if you
massage
need.
chair.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like that you would so never send that to somebody. What if one of your mates, right? What if one of your mates was like, hey, fuck massage chair. You know what I mean? It's got a hole in the middle, right? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, right. But you know, like what would you ask? Would you go, oh yeah, man, which one? You know what I mean? Or like, you know, like which one did you look at? The thing is, inquiry is a super weird word. It's only used when it comes in a sales environment. Would you agree with that, Shane?
No,
like,
dude, it's even the specific, like you reached out, like it's very straightforward. Like you did something. How did they? Maybe they didn't. I would just be cautious with telling them what they've done already.
Yeah.
First thing.
Yeah.
You got sore shoulders, bud? You know? Like, you know, so again, the more like the days of being like, if you're in a super traditional B2B environment, there's nothing wrong with like, hey, I saw that you inquired, you know, looks like X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 right? If you're more B2C, you want to kind of keep it more laid back, like more cruisy, right? Yes. Right. And then like, you know, try different iterations. First thing you want to do is like, are people responding? Right? If people are sweet. Like also, this is the science and analytics are proven on this. And like, this is going to sound like a total dick move, right? But because like, this is not anything to do with you. And I'm being serious about that, right? The better looking you are, the higher response rates you'll have to anything video or text, right? Right. But also like, depending on who you're sending it to, a good looking guy, the guys, it's not going to matter. But like, if you're an ad, for example, like if you're doing reels and you want to get a higher reach on your reels, just fucking like look max yourself on an app and you'll get better reach, right? Like 100% success rate on that. The better looking you are, the easier everything is. That's why my content does so well, right? You know what I mean? Right?
Well, there's 2 sides of that. You have to be really good looking or extremely odd looking. You need to be your features need to really be extreme.
I prefer to have weaponized autism. But right, so you have to sort of you have you consider you could Fuck you, Muhammad. Right? So are you like, you have to think like, what's the outcome I'm trying to get? Are you just trying to get a response, or are you then trying to get a response to move things forward? So it's like, if something isn't working though, and you've got enough data to prove that it isn't working. Also, for a massage chair, I feel like a video message is a super weird way to kind of go that, unless you're saying like a massage of you in the fucking a video of you like relaxing as shit in a big chair. That might go down well. Be like, wish you were here, buddy. Right? Like that might be a great follow-up strategy or a great engagement strategy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I would do is like take 50 of your next leads and I would send them a totally different thing. Like they get right out a new one and then bang, new one and bang. I'd do it that way.
Okay. I was told to do this by someone in IC, but it doesn't work. So, yeah. Anyway.
Send a video message.
What's IC?
Yeah.
What's IC?
I've never heard of her.
What is that?
Right, if I say anything to
Inner
do with,
circle, man. Inner circle.
if I say that, I'll get a letter.
Yeah.
Was that Hermosi's inner circle? There's a lot of inner circles out there.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you know, again, there's no right or wrong. There's just what works, and you try it, and if it works, anyone who tells you do this or it's wrong is a fucking idiot. Like straight up. They are looking at the world from a completely lack of nuanced way. No, don't do it like that, do it like this. The answer is maybe. Because like if you suck at sales, for example, the advice I give you is totally different than someone who's really good. They're totally different pieces of advice.
Yeah.
Right? So just like, you know, try it and just try and get a little tiny bit better each time. All right.
Okay.
This is gonna be a real quick question. Ron Curran, because I gotta run. I'm late to my next thing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it in 60 seconds. It's just a metric. It's more a contribution.
That's
I just started tracking all my upfronts for all my students that we get out. And then I just divided by the amount of showed appointments. So just one way to look at it is I just started taking the total amount of upfronts from prepayments and down payments, not MRR, off ongoing, and then just divided by how many appointments I would do every month. And all of a sudden I was really, really motivated to make sure that I was sending all these texts and everything like that, because I know that every person that walks through the door generates me currently $417 in profit. So it's just like, now I'm just like, okay, just do whatever I can to get them to the door. And I think it's like
front of mind strategies work very well. Like anything you can do to get things into the front of mind, especially if you're a sales rep, especially if you work from home. One of the hardest things about being a successful sales rep is that like there's no one telling you what to do, right? Like there is no like, this is what you do as a sales rep, and then you work at home and you double down on that. It's quite difficult, right? You know what I mean? And so that's why I recommend like having a set place that you work, having a almost like a uniform that you have, like a hat. Like I had a specific hat, and then I would close my door to my office, right? And then when I was in the office versus when I was out of the office, right? I was like, I'm at work now. I do work things. This is all I do. Okay. Hey guys, but I just want to have everyone thank Shane for coming on, right? As per all the things I do, I don't pay people to help me with these things, right? Right? Nor will I ever, right? Because knowing me is enough payment. But yeah, so thank you, Shane. Guys, reach out to him on Facebook, okay? And I'll drop his like Facebook in the members only post. And then from there, what we'll do is we'll give you like a little bit of a, if you send me that doc, Shane, I'll get like a little bit of an antiquated version, and then maybe make it so that they have to like put their email in or something to like request it. And then from there we can email them back. But if you guys have any questions, queries, alpha points, like feel free to hit Shane up. He's a killer. I have a ton of respect for Shane. I like to make fun of him, but he's very, very good at what he does. So if your business is needing help with CS or anything like that, feel free to reach out to him. Okay, guys? Thanks, Shane. And post up about him, right, on your Facebooks and shit like that, and spread the word, because the dude knows what he's talking about. All right, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
All right, so there's a couple things. First is that like you're using an awful lot of like double speak. Okay, so you're doing a lot of unnecessary words, right? Which is like, so what I'm hearing you say is that, what's up, sweetie? Yeah. So you're doing like, so what I'm hearing you say is like, and when you say this, like that can mean different things to everybody. Like, what do you mean? Right now, if you're telling me that that's a buffering system for your brain, I'm totally fine with it. If it's like that's a better way to do it, then we can have a chat about it. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of words, and a lot of it's a bit unnecessary. And then it's going to leave things open to interpretation, and it means that it's a lot harder for you to be precise with your language. And a perfect example came up, right, of exactly why that's more difficult. Can you put them outside, sweetie? Summer, put them outside. Okay. Because you said if it was free, would you do it? Right? Now that sounds very similar to money aside. Could this be the answer for you? But it is an extremely different question. Right? And exactly what a lot of prospects would do is said exactly what he would say. Be like, well, yeah, it's free. It's like very different question. So the preciseness of your language will dictate an awful lot. And because you're adding in words that you feel like you should be, because like it sounds, it's like a salesperson's interpretation. Hey, do you want to go out and get a beer and some fries? Oh, so what I'm hearing you say is like, you know, a beer is different to everybody. Like when you say beer, what type of beer would you like to have? That's exactly what you said. Right? And when you say it in like a normal context, it sounds like a ridiculous thing to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by adding in all that stuff, it's just adding variables, right? So straight away, you can get a couple of good wins there just by like simplifying down and making sure that you say things instead of going like, if it was free, because if it was free is a red herring. You know what I mean? And then you had to come up with, I thought on the fly you came up with it. It wasn't bad. You know, I could go down to McDonald's and get a free cup of water. Like, I'm not going to get out of my house for that, though. Like, that's not bad. But again, now you're almost arguing with somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're like, well, yeah, like, and you, on the fly, pretty good. You know? But again, make life easy for yourself. So just real simply, money aside, do you feel like this could be the answer for you? And then you cut out like half of that conversation. And you get to the part where you eventually got them, but you didn't have to go through all the rigmarole first. Yeah?
Yeah.
Overall tonality good, but you just gotta like just tighten and just throw away all the crazy sales words, you know what I mean?
Yeah, brevity's always been a difficult one for me. My thought process from there where you stopped us was like open wallet and then go forward, maybe payment plan or something. But
yeah.
I don't know what you. Yeah.
No, yeah, it was all right. I thought your thought process was fine. It was just the execution of it was just like it's just a lot of things. You know what I mean? You can just simplify down and be way easier. All right, cool.
I also tend to chat a bit when nervous, so but no, I appreciate it. I'm gonna definitely make note of this. Thank you.
For sure. All right, V John, do you want to go next?
Do you want me to be the prospect for you, man?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
All right. Any particular type of objection or?
I get a lot of money, but I mean, even though we
Money?
just did
All right, what do you sell?
We do help people get out of debt and then invest for the future, for retirement.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. And Anthony, it's $6K, and how would you like to proceed from here?
Yeah, no, it all sounds like it makes sense. I am going to go away and just kind of review everything that you walked me through today on the call.
Okay.
I'll go through my finances, make sure they're in check, and then once I've had a chance to do that, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, money aside, do you feel like this would be the answer for you?
Yeah. I feel as though
everything
makes. Well, I mean, like the process makes sense. Everything makes sense as far as how you guys operate and the service you deliver. You know, on paper, it all looks really good. I just, I want to do my due diligence.
Yeah, no, I get that. And what was it specific that we went over in your plan and your one-on-ones with Brennan that you feel would be like, I guess you could say the keys to the castle for you?
Yeah, I guess ultimately like the fact that it was more tailored individually to my financial situation. It just gives me a bit more reassurance that you're, not slapping on just some cookie cutter process on me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And why specifically that thing? why is cookie cutter, like not having a cookie cutter process, really important to you now, though?
Well, I mean, it's always important. I guess it's just one of those things for me where it's like, you know, if I'm going to be stamped out the same way as a bunch of other people, then I don't really get the full degree of confidence that like all of my needs are going to be taken care of with this. Whereas if it's someone who's like analyze my situation and then kind of, you know, like a doctor, I guess, prescribing directly to what they've assessed, I have a bit more, I guess, confidence and security that like, all right, cool, every box will be checked. But as I said, you know, like that's what I'm perceiving right now. I just I want to make sure that like it's actually a viable option and just kind of stack it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. We want to make sure that you're in a good place. But what are some ways that, you know, we can come up with the funds where you can, you know, you can get the opportunity to start saving up for that emergency fund and, you know, helping with your kids' college education, so we can get you to that early retirement like you were asking for?
Some ways that like you could help me come up with funds, or
what are some ways we can think of together?
Well, I mean, like you could tell me what you offer and I could see what kind of lines up for me. You know, it's one of those things where.
All right, cool. Time out. All right. So I like that. I thought that was pretty good. I think that what happened was that you let him ramble a bit too long. Okay. Right. And then your question was not super easy to answer.
Which part of which question?
So that very last bit. So because he, you know, sort of did what he did as a sales rep, he just kind of went, right? You know, just kind of just talk for a while, right? Which is good as a prospect because like you want to be able to like interrupt. Your first interruption was fantastic, where he was like, "Yeah, I mean," you're like, "Why is that?" Straight away, which is good, right? And then you were nice and brief, and then you just let him talk a bit too long, and because he was kind of talking in circles. When you asked him, so what are some ways we can come up with the funds? The way that you structured that particular sentence was difficult to answer because it wasn't like, so what are some ways that we can come up with the funds to where you can get access to that help, right? It was more about the outcome that you want. It wasn't about the tangible service of which they're going to get, right? So it just sort of made it a bit of more of a difficult question to answer, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more of what they're going to get within the program rather than the outcome. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So because it's like, well, what are some ways that we can, you know, come up with the funds to where you can actually get the thing you said you just needed, which is like the accountability, the whatever.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, they need to go outside first, and they can come back in later. Okay. Alrighty. All right, cool. Overall, I thought that was good, though. Tone good. Everything else is pretty solid. I think just interrupt and then be a little bit more interrupt faster, and it will make your questions a bit easier to answer.
Sweet.
All right.
Thank you.
Rez, you want to go?
Yeah, I've got my video off because where I'm standing, the reception's not so good. You're good?
Yeah, a little bit hard to hear, but
okay.
But
is that better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all good.
All right, cool.
Okay.
And then Santiago, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All
How are you doing, Matt?
Good.
Everything okay?
Yeah, good. Can you be the prospect, and then we'll switch it out.
Okay. So I sell massage chairs. Just for context, just say you've got back pain, whatever, and it's stopping you from spending time with your kids. That's the emotional sort of thing, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's Santiago, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that'll be $6,000. How would you like to proceed?
6,000. I'd like to think about it.
Think about, yeah, I guess, what was it you wanted to go over in your mind, just to see if I can help?
Well, the money, I think it is a lot of money.
The money? Money aside, would this be the answer for you?
Well, this could be.
Why do you feel it would, though?
Well, I haven't been spending really time with my kids because of this back pain, and I think it is affecting my work, my life. I think it is a good answer for me.
Okay. Yeah, and how much longer do you want to put this off?
No, I think that I need to do something, but it is
You
a lot of
sure?
money.
Yep. Okay. What specific parts of what we've discussed do you feel will help you the most in terms of, you know, helping with your mobility and you being able to spend time with your kids?
I think that the training part, like working out with someone
Yeah.
that can help me move better.
Yeah. Why is that important for you?
I've seen many programs in which they don't really have someone that's
Okay,
coaching
cool.
you.
All right, cool. Pause. So I think your decision making is good. Your execution, I mean, I don't know if you're like out doing stuff because it sounds like you're like there's something going on there, but like you're like hyper direct in your questioning, which I don't mind, but your tonality is also a little bit flippant, right?
Okay.
Why is that?
Yep.
You sure? Okay. What about this? What like it's almost it's very questioning.
Yeah.
Right. So like overall, like good decision making, but I think that like if that prospect, if you haven't built extremely good rapport with them, I feel like they'll probably push back on you quite hard just with the directness of your delivery.
Fair enough.
But overall, other than else, it's like fine. To be honest, like decision making's fine, probing's fine. You know what I mean? Really simple way of like executing it, which I think isn't bad, but I think that you need to soften that tonality just a little bit. Right.
Sure. Like empathy, is that the kind of tonality you would use?
No, it's more like just a bit softer. I don't know how it like it's just very direct, right?
Okay.
So a bit more curious than like questioning, right? And there's some weird shit going on with your microphone, so I'm gonna mute you because
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's gone now. All right, good. Okie dokie. Santiago, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm having problem with objection logistic money because they say that they want to check their finances. Like I need to the numbers.
Okay. All right. Sage, is your Tesla driving itself safely enough to where you can be a prospect?
It is in fact driving itself, so we're good.
Okay, fantastic. All right, Santiago, Sage, you're gonna give him a money logistical check finances objection.
Cool.
Okay, so Sage it is 3,000.
Okay, man. Yeah. This all sounds really good. I just need to go ahead and check. The bank account, see how that's looking. And I can just get back to you sometime.
Okay, and money side, what you do it?
Oh, yeah, I'd probably do it.
Okay, so man, I don't really know how to handle this objection because I do the procedure, but then they're like blocked. They're like, I really need to do numbers. I have to pay the school of my kids, for example.
Yeah. Are you blocked? Does you feel like he's doing that?
No, but my leads are. Maybe I'm blocking them.
Okay, but handle what he's saying.
Handle what he's saying. Okay. Okay, and why would you do this, H?
Yeah, I just like it makes sense. I think it would help me with XYZ like issue I've been having. It's just I just want to make sure like the finances, like work out.
So from what I'm hearing is that you want to do it, and if money wasn't a problem here, you would be in. And when you say you want to check your finances, what you really mean?
I just mean like I just want to make sure that like I have like enough money to pay the rest of my expenses, and I'm not like putting myself in trouble by just jumping in like 3,000 out of nowhere.
Okay, so if we could split it in payments, could you do it?
Well, I mean, maybe. How does that? What kinds of options?
Sage, what's your feedback as
I
a
guess do
prospect?
you have? My feedback, it just feels a bit like awkward.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of eager to like get off the call because it just feels really like I feel a lot of awkwardness. Not even necessarily pressure, just kind of like I just feel like I feel weird right now.
For sure. You just sound like a bit of a pussy. And that's not meaning you are one. That's just what you sound like, right? So like you're very you have a real lack of confidence in the way that you're asking the questions and delivering them. Like you're nervous that he's gonna say no to the answers. Like if we broke it up, would you be able to do it? Right? Like it's real, it's very beta, right? And so and also like your word choice is very important. You can't flop words around and like change. It's like, if you had the money, would you do it? It's a very different question. Same way where if it was free, would you do it? If it was free, would it be the best program? It's like it's very specific, right? And again, you can say all those things, but you have to really understand why you're saying them, and you have to be able to justify it and know the outcomes it's going to cost. Money aside, do you feel like this would be the answer for you? Okay, it's a very non-committal question. It's non-committal on purpose, right?
Okay.
Like
I don't usually sell in English. That's why I sound like confident.
That's for sure, man.
But
that's totally fine, right? But
could you play closer and I play prospect?
What's that? That's me playing.
Could you play?
Is not going to help you, right?
Okay.
Like word tracks is not what's going to help you, right? It's understanding concepts, right? So like the first thing is like money aside, do you feel like this would be the answer for you? You know what I mean? It's a very different question than any of the other questions that have been asked, right? Because it's non-committal and it's like, well, yeah, that's all you're looking for. Why is that? Okay, well, because this is this. Is there anything else that you feel like could be, I don't know, at the key to the castle for you? Okay, that's just getting them, right, to like reestablish the value of the program. And then it's like, well, what are some ways that we can come up with the funds to where you can actually get access to XYZ? Well, this. Okay. Like, I'm not really sure. Well, do you mind if I make a suggestion? Yeah, sweet. What a lot of clients do, and it's totally normal. They don't really have the upfront funds, is that we break it up over a couple payments. Like, would that help you out? Right? Yeah, for sure. Okay. Do you want to have that conversation? Yes. Okay. This is what we do. Now, if they have zero money, there's nothing you can do about it. Right? But again, like that's not the process that's being done here. You know what I mean? So if you follow that process, you know what I mean, and you do it in those stages with those like small non-committal stages, then like you're putting yourself in a good chance to be able to get to a point where you can talk about a sales process, right? And you've got to be able to confidently deliver it. Do you know what I mean? Because again, there are 12 million variables minimum, maybe quintillion level of variables that can happen out of that small conversation. However, if there's no consistency in the delivery, then like there's no information that can be derived from the answers that you're being given. So I can say, what if they're wearing a hat? I can say, what if they say they want to check their finances? What if they say they need to ask their accountant? What if they say they need to go and check with their partner? What if they say this? It's like, well, like the thing is, if it's not being said the same way every time, and if you don't understand like what you're trying to do, and it's just word tracks, it's just all a waste of time. Do you know what I mean? So like that's get down to the real principle. Otherwise, you're trying to account for wind that you don't know is or is not going to happen.
And what about you go for split the payment and they still gotta check their finances because their numbers are not clear?
Then you're not sort of taking them through the whole process, and there's more than that, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
like smoke spray.
No, I didn't say that either. Right? So it's like, again, you're not looking at the principles. Like you got to go through and you got to get your buy-in and you got to do things consistently. Otherwise, like it's all just kind of like a waste of time. It's not, oh, if that doesn't work, it's a smoke screen. That's not how like the communication works. You know what I mean? So again, just worry about the principles, and like if you overcome an objection, it doesn't mean you did it the right way. And if you don't overcome it, it doesn't mean you did it the wrong way. Right?
Okay.
Because sometimes you just can't overcome the objection. Right? Makes sense?
All
right.
Makes sense.
All right, cool. All right. Sage and Sveta.
Awesome. I sell solar door to door, and I'd love to work on a little bit of partner, but actually mostly fear. I have a lot of issues with fear.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So like starting out with a partner objection, and let's say we overcome it, and then just kind of just be like, I just really want to think about it. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's really all I had for you today, Sveta. So really next steps from here is that I would email you all the documents, and we'd go ahead and authorize those so that we can, finish up seeing if the house is eligible. If it is, we'll talk about next steps at that point. So what email should I send that stuff to?
Yeah, send it to sveta@gmail.com. Yeah, it will be perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so open that up real quick. We're just going to go ahead and sign that and be on our way.
Yeah, that's okay. Just drop an email. I will show it to my husband, and we will go through that together, and we will email back.
Sure, yeah. Do you feel like if your husband was here and like had the context and all we talked about as far as like how much you guys they're making you pay and like and the plan we have, you feel like he'd be on board?
I don't know for sure, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What
the
do you
reason
feel
I
like-
wanted to show him. Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like his biggest concern would be? Just so I can see if I can help.
Yeah, probably the amount that we would save with the offer that you provide for us.
Okay. Yeah. So did you feel like it's a tough one. Yeah, so got it. And I guess like savings take control over the bill and kind of be before. I wouldn't have said that. All the things we discussed earlier.
Yeah, I think it looks
What do you
nice.
feel about
Yeah, I mean,
what specifically about it makes you feel like it would unlock kind of the energy independence, like the control that you're really looking for there?
yeah, I like that you already have clients in our neighborhood, and I feel that you guys are not like just popped up and you disappear next year. So it's great that I see that you probably provide service if something breaks. So kind of reliable. That gives me a little bit more confidence. Yeah.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. So do you feel like if your husband was here to hear about all the people we've worked with and, all the ways that we've helped a lot of people like save money that have come to us, like, do you feel like that he would support you in lowering the bill this way?
I think so. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So what we can do from here is, because right now it's just really preliminary, we're not even at 100% sure if we can help you yet.
Yep.
So what we can do is we can authorize kind of the preliminary paperwork that we have. And then that way we can talk to your husband when we have more information, like all of the information available next week. And then at that point, if you guys feel like, hey, like this is a good way to lower the bill, then we can talk about, kind of the next steps after that. Would it be helpful? Would that be inappropriate if we did it that way?
Yeah, but I think still that it would be great for me to have a chat with him. If I can show the numbers that you shared with me, it will be really, really helpful.
Okay. So what if you, that's not a problem. What happens if you go to him and you tell him that you think it's a good idea? A lot of the neighbors have been helped in this way. And then he tells you like, no, we're not going to do it. I mean, what would you do then?
Oh, that would be tough.
Yeah.
I would probably need to convince him somehow.
Okay. What if you just can't convince him? Like, even though you're making all the sense in the world and you're showing him how you're really saving
he
money.
actually
And he still
trusts
says,
me a lot. And I think when we have these agreements and when he sees that I value something a lot, he typically decides to move ahead with my decision. So I don't think that it would happen.
yeah. And maybe like, let's say hypothetically, right? Your husband comes home from work and you felt like it was a good time to tell him, how high the bill's been, how you feel like this would help, but like you didn't know that he had this terrible day at work, and Jason, that coworker that he fucking hates, he just like, you know, he just comes home in a terrible mood and he just goes, no,
Okay.
absolutely not. I'm not going to do it. No. I mean, what would you do at that point?
I might take my savings and we'll go ahead anyway.
Okay. So like, do you feel like when you approach your husband, is it more of like you're asking permission, or is it more of like an FYI, like I'm just letting you know that, you know, this is what we should do?
I like to keep that vibe that we make decisions together. I think it's kind of helpful not to have a conflict in the family.
Yeah, totally. Sorry, I didn't mean to ask that question in a confusing way. What I meant is like, do you feel like you would be, when you approach that conversation, that it would be more like, hey, can we do this? Or would you be approaching it like, hi, I have, you know, Mr. Husband, I have the, I look at the bill every month and I'm noticing it's really high and I want you to be involved in this. And so that's why I'm letting you know that we're going to do this to save money. Would it be kind of more like that?
Yeah, probably the later one.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. And I know that's how that's how things typically are in my family as well. So I can relate. So I feel like, you know, since we're, you know, like you were saying, we've helped a lot of neighbors, and, you know, we're going to have more of an FYI conversation with the husband. I mean, where do you feel like we should go at this point?
I think it's still, if you can send me an email, and
I
I
think
can
with
just
solar,
look at the
it's a real
numbers, because
difficult one to try and get her to sign off on putting solar on the house without the husband, right? But I think you've done a good job of like getting her to the end, and then from there, I would set up like a solidified next steps, because it's just there's just no way that like they're gonna put they're gonna agree. I mean, maybe, but.
Well, it's happened before, and if she were to say, obviously no, if my husband says no, I'm not doing it. I mean, I just had a meeting like this last week. I said, okay, well, what do you feel like? You know, I tried to push to have the meeting. I'm like, so what do you feel like would give them the best odds at kind of being supportive of you doing it this way? Like, would it be you trying to tell them, or would it be like us trying to sit down and work through this stuff together and, you know, try to set up a meeting that way?
And what was the outcome?
He said he was like, can you hear me? Am I losing you? Uh-oh. You can hear me? Okay. Yeah, where that ended was that he basically said absolute hardest to get to sit down, and he essentially just said like he can't force her to sit down. So we game plan. I'm like, well, so how would you approach that? He told me how he's going to approach it. Hey, you might have to make a suggestion. What if you approach it this way to get her to sit down with us, so that we can stop like saving money on the bill? And that's where we kind of left it. And we tried to get the wife to sit down like later another day.
I mean, it's a solid way of doing it. You know what I mean? I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, I thought that overall, I really liked it. Obviously,
I was hoping it would get more into I was hoping we would get more into fear zone, so that I could try to use one of these, like which one's a bigger risk reframes or something, but maybe another time. Because I feel like
I don't think people
the fear ones are
really solar on. Do you know what I mean? I think if you do a really good job on the logistical, you'll get through most of them. Right? Not people are sitting there quivering in their boots, trying to get worrying about solar. You know what I mean?
You'd be surprised, Matt.
Well, you know, or maybe you're just not very good at getting into logistical, right?
You're right.
And then as you get better at it, yeah. You know? But good. I thought overall, it was pretty good. All right, we're gonna do Sveta and Nick, okay? And then Nick, so Sveta, like, what are you selling?
I'm selling gym membership.
Oh, perfect. All right, Nick, you need to go to the gym, buddy.
Okay.
You're going to gym, Nick. It's money objection for me, please.
Money.
Money.
Money. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Nick. So it will be 1,800 for a 12-month contract. And yeah, how would you like to proceed?
Okay. I'll take all this back, I guess. I just gotta think about that. It's a little higher.
Okay. Yeah, of course, that's not a problem. What is that specifically you wanted to go through in your mind while you were thinking about it?
Well, it's really just that 1,800. I don't really
okay.
swing that right now, to be honest.
Yeah,
Really
totally
well.
understand. Money aside, do you think it would be an answer for you?
Yeah, coming. Yeah, I do. Coming to
Okay.
the gym.
How? Why is that?
Because I need to get in shape. I'm falling apart
Okay.
over here. Yeah.
And what is it specifically you thought that would be the key to the castle to get in shape?
Really, just are you saying like training? Is it training or is it gym membership?
So it's gym membership. Yeah, we went through everything. Yes, gym classes and like spa, everything.
Yeah, just the gym. Everything looks great. I mean, it's better than anything else I've seen lately.
Yeah, I totally understand. But what is that specifically you think would be beneficial for you to help you to lose that weight?
Well, I like to play basketball a lot, and you guys have basketball
Mhm.
courts. Nothing else, no other gym does. And that's
Okay, that sounds great. And why is that you think would be helpful for the weight loss?
Because I think that's how I lost weight last time.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And besides the basketball, what else do you think would be helpful for you?
Hitting the weights.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need.
In what way?
In what way are you asking?
Yeah.
What?
You mentioned earlier that you tried weights in other gyms. So what do you think would make a big change right now for you?
Really just consistently coming every day.
Okay, so
What I need to do.
consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, you see, will be helpful for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that this will be like a game changer for you right now?
Why what would be a game changer for me?
You mentioned consistency. Like,
Oh.
sounds like it wasn't the case before, and right now
Yeah.
you see, like, you had a look at everything, and you feel like consistency will be here. So, what made you feel that that's the case?
Well, because I'm not doing it. Like right now, I'm not doing it. So I need to get to it again.
So you think with this gym, like, you will get consistent?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and what made you feel that?
Trying to come up with shit here. You know, the I got a lot of my friends that go to this gym too. I think that's gonna help me. Yeah.
So you like that community vibe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what are some ways we can come up with the fun so you can get actually that consistency and join your friends and play the basketball so you can lose the weight?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, the 1800 is just kind of a lot. So maybe if it was lower, I could do it.
Okay. Do you mind if I make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
What we see a lot of our clients do when they want to lose weight, they try to find the way to get funds and maybe not to pay everything up front, but try to break it down into like a smaller chunks. Do you think that if I've done that for you, it would be helpful and you would manage it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's more like about upfront amount that is
Yeah.
stopping you. Okay, so there is an option. We can break it down in 12 months payments. Do you want to have that conversation?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so it will be upfront 150 plus 25 joining fee, and then over each month for the next 12 months, you will pay just 150. Would that work for your budgetary constraints right now?
Anybody that said they want to do it at this point would say yes, right?
Okay. So how would you like to proceed?
Yeah. That was good. You went through the process, like you did like small steps, and it was like, yep, sweet. You know what I mean? I thought that was solid. I liked the way you did it. Nick, have you got any feedback? I think you could have got there quicker. Like all we need to do is just find out that I absolutely am dying to do this. It's just I can't pay $1,800. You know?
Yeah, I was trying to pull from you what you felt would be game changer, why you tried it before and it didn't work, and why would that work for you right now? because there are tons of gyms like we in the area, like 15
Yeah.
gyms.
It's obviously like
15
the
minutes of walk.
context of the conversation that you had, right? But
Yeah.
overall, I thought that was good. I thought that was really solid process. So well done.
Okay, thanks. So.
All right, Nick and Yaha.
Okay, so I sell lead gen to any, service-based business, coach, or
Okay.
like a
Sure, bro.
cool.
Let's do it. Yep.
Okay, so the price is $5,000.
What objection do you want me to give you? Just anything?
Anything you can do money, or
Okay.
you do money.
Yeah, man. Just give me like a little bit of time to think about it.
Okay, and what's behind that exactly?
I think it's a bit too expensive for me right now.
Okay, when you say too expensive, what do you mean by that?
I'm not sure I could put 5K towards something like this right now.
Okay, so money aside, would you say this would be the answer you're looking for?
Yeah, for sure. I think what you guys do is great.
Okay, and why do you say that?
I really like the systems you have for lead generation and like the accountability.
Okay, so it sounds like this is the answer then.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So would you say we're more in like a how can I do this place versus a should I do this place?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. All right. So then I get, because most of the clients do pay up front, but sometimes if we're not always looking to hit you over the head. Okay. So what we would do is break it up. What do you have available to invest in it? Like cash on hand, what do you have able and willing to invest in?
Scary question.
What'd you say?
I've probably got like.
It's a scary question. You have no idea what he's going to say. Let's see if it's bold strategy, Cotton. Say for example.
Okay.
What if he says,
Yeah,
I got like $50?
Well, yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean? But you don't know if that's the truth.
okay, so you wouldn't ask that.
No. Like, as
Okay.
a sort of worst case, or in very specific scenarios, but it's like if we broke it up, would that help? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's still, what we usually do is this. And then kind of work your way down. You know what I mean? Because like you want to kind of give yourself a point. If you put it straight onto him, like it's just almost impossible to know what's going to happen from there. And it can go really well or it can go really bad. Right?
Yeah, my plan is to then ask about available credit after he tells me cash, and then like make this nice deal where
Yeah, it's not like it's just I hear people do it a lot, and like it can go either way. It's a bold strategy. So I just like to kind of offer something first.
Yeah.
Then if I'm getting vagaries, then I can go, hey, listen, I can't hit a target. I can't see. Like what do you actually have available to you, right? But then I've kind of given myself a little bit of a chance, to go there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Ask me the question again. I forgot what it was.
Wait, yeah. What did I just ask you?
You asked him how much money.
Cash on hand, right? Yeah.
Okay.
How much
Well,
money you
so
got?
then
How much money you got, bro?
let's not do that then. Let's okay, so you said you are in a how can I do this place, right? Rather than a should I?
Right. Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
so.
Okay. So if we broke it up for you, would you feel that's the answer?
Could be. What are you thinking?
All right. Well, what do you mean by could be?
I mean, it depends on what you have available. What do you mean by break it up?
Okay. Well, so normally what we would do is take 2,500 now, and then 2,500 in 14 days right before the ads launch.
Okay.
You ready to get to work?
I don't know, man. I'm just I just need to think about it.
Okay. Okay. Do you think it might be like maybe nerves?
Oh, you're trying to jump the gun there. Just finish the money. Like, okay, So, to payments of XYZ, that actually works within your budget.
Okay.
So
So breaking it up,
right? He didn't give you an answer. You got to finish it before you move on. Otherwise, then you're going to go all the way down, talk about
Yeah.
mindset and fucking islands for the next 10 minutes, and then from there
Yeah.
you're going to come back and you still haven't quite finished it.
Okay. Okay, so what will you said 2,500 would work for you?
Yeah, I think it would work. I just need to think about it.
Okay, what do you need to what's behind that? Like, what do you mean by that?
I'm not sure, man. I think I just need to take 24 hours. I always make decisions that way. Just review it, sleep over it, and yeah.
Okay. So when I asked you when you were in a how can I do this place, what did you like, how did you take that? What did you mean
You
by
have
that?
such an interesting tone. It's almost like a curious disgust, right? It's like it's.
Well, I have to say, usually when people say how when they're in that place, like they can't say this. What he's saying right now.
I mean, they can, but I see what you're saying, right? You know what I mean? Like, but I see.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
I see totally what you're saying, but it's your tone is interesting. You're like, okay, like that's how you sound, right? I'm very good at impressions. It's one of my main skills, right? See that right there? Okay, it's like a curious disgust. It's like fuck you. That's what it sounds like, and I don't even hate it.
Sorry,
I don't mind it at all.
I'm from New Jersey. That might be why.
Yeah, no, like I can see that. It's a really interesting because it comes off as you're like, I don't think it works against you in a lot of ways because I think it's just like you're very confused about how fucking dumb what they're saying is. Like, but it sounds really genuine. You're like, oh okay. it's really good. It's just I haven't heard it before. I would say that what you're doing is good. I think that you're trying to skip a step though. Like you're trying to get like the feedback that you gave Sveta was, I think you could have got there way faster. It's like, I think you should get there a little bit slower.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I think just not taking like you're getting them and you're doing a really good job of kind of making them answer what you want them to answer, right? But then just ask the extra questions and make sure you close the door. You know, you're sort of like not shutting the door behind you. You're just like leaving it an inch open, you know, and then you're walking through the next one. And then, you know, but the boogeyman can just come and Kool-Aid man his way through, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Just those little tie-ups like, okay, so that 2,500 works in your current budget. Then, and even then he didn't say, he goes, I mean, you know, 2,500 could work. He didn't even answer it again, you know, just go, but does it work within your current budget? Yeah, it does. All right, cool, man. How do you want to proceed from here? So just it's that final tie off.
Okay.
You know, and that'll be good to go. All right, sweet. We're gonna got 1 more minute left, and I gotta go. But Anthony, did you have a question?
Yeah, I had that question just about this objection that I've gotten recently. We started this new low ticket ascension funnel. And I mean, I guess it applies to like, you know, when you have lead magnets and stuff as well. But when you get a prospect that's like, you know, like, yeah, I was kind of prompted to book this call to explore like the higher one-on-one coaching. But, you know, like I think that I'm going to just go through a little bit more of the like, I want to finish all the modules that are in like the course that I'm currently in. And then I think I'll come back and do this. Or if you have like a free training that, you know, someone doesn't watch and then books a call and they're like, oh, I'm going to go back and watch the training and then I think I'll come back and do this. Like, what's your sort of take? I guess fundamentally I'm scattered on like how to best approach that sort of thing.
Well, it's like a buyer lead, you know. Is it a buyer lead?
You mean like they've already bought the low ticket and then trying to upsell? Yeah.
That's the objection every single buyer lead will give for the rest of time. That is the.
Is that in the downloadable?
No, a downloadable.
The sales sniper thing that we got access to.
No, but that is the objection that every single buyer lead gives, always. So the whole sales call has to be around getting around that.
Right. So just kind of like building urgency, doubt, the
Well,
DIY kind of
yes,
objection.
you've got to literally dismantle that idea, because that is what every single buyer lead will give always. It is the most. It is you'll get it at the top, you'll get it in the middle, you'll get it at the bottom. Right.
Yeah.
So like, there's not like a word track you can say. It is they will always give it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the entire sales call has to literally be, you know what I mean, built around dismantling that. But all right, guys, I gotta go. I can pop that in though, because I do it all the time with committed coaches. All right, guys, peace out. Bye.
Legend. Thank you.
Matt, is there any chance I can bug you for one question real quick?
You cannot, unfortunately, because I'm literally.
Okay, I'll come back to another one.
All right.
That's all right. See you.
Bye.